I had a client who came to me during the pandemic. She was really upset. She and her boyfriend had made a decision 2 years before that at that time they were going to move in together. But because of the pandemic and because of the way the market was looking at that particular time, he had decided that maybe it wasn't wise to move in just then. Why didn't they wait a year and see what the market was like then? So he was making a very rational, very financial decision. And she was bereft. She was confident that he was making a decision based on not wanting to move in with her, and he didn't have the courage to tell her. And so she came to me and didn't know what to do. One of the things that I realized happened was instead of telling him how she felt, she just got really quiet and smiled and said fine while she was seething inside and didn't want to tell him how she was feeling. And she let about 5 or 6 months go by before she came to me. So there was 5 or 6 months where she was smiling and making nice and really seething inside. He did want to move in with her. He was just making a very rational financial decision, and she was coming to it from an emotional place. She knew intellectually that it was a good relationship. She didn't want to lose it. She couldn't move beyond the feeling. Unless we talk about the way we feel, I promise you it will get worse. It won't get better. Because the way emotions work is they gain momentum. When we feel them, they will continue to gain momentum until we do something, until we use a tool or use our voices to make a change. It was just owning her thinking and finding a new way to think about it and being gut-wrenchingly honest. And now it's 2 years later and they're living together and they're fine and they work through it. But these are the things that we could do that could really trip up relationships. And if she hadn't been willing to talk about it and willing to work through the emotions of it, it brought up trauma that she was able to work through and get to the other side of. Because often our trauma is based on inner child work. We need to bring it up in order to release it, in order to move forward in our lives. They had to work through it. They were able to get to the other side. And I'm really grateful you let me share this story because I hope it helps you in recognizing you are not doing a service to someone if you think that hiding the way you feel because you know it's intellectually insecure is going to help your relationship. You could just admit, this may just be my insecurity, but I'm feeling like you're doing this. But hiding it and pretending she didn't feel that way, all it did was create a wedge between them. And I'm so grateful that she came to me and we were able to work through the wedge and he was willing to work through it with her too. And we got to the other side of that. Relationships are always going to provide you challenges. In order to get to the other side, you have to bring it up and be willing to work on it. And if you need help doing that, join my group Supercharge the Relationship. In there, I try to give as many tools as possible for you to learn how to stand in your power in relationships, create authentic relationships that are drama-free. Regardless, remember that life is super short, so please be kind, have fun, and love everything. Thank you for listening.